could not become Malamal. Malamal is the many of you know is the means rich. So I could not become Malamal from monetary perspective. पैसा नहीं बनाया, but then learned a lot about entrepreneurship. Learned a lot about क्या नहीं करना चाहिए business में, what things you should not do. I did a lot of mistakes. Being a first generation entrepreneur, कोई guidance नहीं था. There was no mentor. Indian ecosystem was not ready. Although we were very popular, Malamal was a very popular portal. Even today, also people recognize us by that name. But then then funding nahi tha, so there are a lot of struggles we have gone through. So then I started my second venture in 2007. That was called MartJack. It was an e-commerce platform, software as a service. Many of you must be knowing Shopify. The similar product we launched in India in 2007. I ran this company for 8 years with all the learnings of first company, second company. I did less mistakes than what I did in the first company. Raised around $7 million, around 45 crores for that company. We are a 200 people company. Then it got acquired in 2015 by a Singapore-based company called Capillary Technologies. It was around one of the largest acquisition in those days. Acquisition is one company buying another company. So they bought us out. And then after 17 years of struggle, we saw some end of that circle got completed. Everyone in my team could make some value. All my investors made anything from 3x, three multiples of 3 to 40. Somebody put in 1 lakh rupees, made 40 lakh rupees out of it. So a lot of people made money. In my company, we had 176 employees. Out of that, I created around 5 million years in dollar terms. Means somebody who made more than 560. Another 25 crore we made. So, and even my driver made around 10 lakh rupees when the company got bought. And he became an entrepreneur in 3 months. He resigned from my job and became an Ola entrepreneur in 2016. Right. And I encouraged that. I think somebody who wanted to become an entrepreneur. So that could bring a change in almost like 200 people's life, including the 86 investors. 25 people retired financially. They don't have to work again for money. And that was a satisfaction. Although I also made decent fortunes. But then because we have gone through that struggle and we know the value of each one, and being a middle class, still I love eating pani puri on the roadside than in Taj Hotel, right? That's the taste is different. So that those things doesn't change. Your roots always are need to be very strong. So after that acquisition in 2016, where I saw my 98 to 2018 years of struggle and 18 years of, but then the end result was quite good. It was one of the largest acquisition and everyone really got a value out of it. So then I took a break of, I was thinking, I was there as a CEO of Capillary e-commerce for 18 months. Then I left, being an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. So I left in 2016 end. 1.5 years I was there. Transition happened, all the employees shifted there, everything got perfect. And then I came out. The first thought was to take a break of 6 months, because for me it has been like 18 years of journey without any break. But the 6th day at home, I realized that it's difficult to sit at home. And most importantly, my family started feeling that their privacy was getting disturbed because they were never used to see me at home. So I was almost thrown out of house. And I started going back to the ecosystem. Then I became an investor. I invested in 10 startups during that process. But being an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is a never-ending journey. So I was looking for the next big opportunity. What should I do as now? And somewhere I felt that waste management, कचरे में कुछ करते हैं, कबाड़ी वाले के धंधे में कुछ करते हैं, right? And like, while people see it as a kabadi wala business, but it's a very, very large problem. Very, very large problem. Today, everyone is talking about sustainability, circular economy. It's all about waste and the way we treat waste, right? And waste is nothing but, there is nothing called waste. Waste is a resource. So we thought of bringing marketplace in waste. And a lot of people joke me away, what are you doing? You're gone mad. ये सब करने से क्या होता है? इंटरनेट पे कचरा कौन खरीदेगा? All that feedback I heard from the people. कि तुमने इतना पैसा बनाया तो उड़ा क्यों रहे हो, चैरिटी करो. Lot of suggestions I got कि ये कबाड़ी वाला, ये रैक पिकर ऐप यूज करेगा क्या, all that stuff. But I was confident that अगर लोग, people can order food online, people can book tickets online, वो कचरा भी खरीदेंगे online because it's a commodity, it's a resource. So we started this in 2016, my third startup which I am running right now. It's a 7-year-old company. We spent 2 years in learning the space. 2 साल दिए हमने पहले. गए कबाड़ी वाले के घर पे गए, रैक पिकर के साथ में काम किया, बहुत कुछ ग्राउंड लेवल पे देखा कि क्या हो रहा है. Lot of learning, because without that you can't build business. You need to know the fundamentals. वहां से then today we are a 400 people company. We are almost 400 people. We are channelizing around 50,000 metric tons. Daily 200 ट्रक कचरा एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाता है हमारे सिस्टम से. लोग हमारा ऐप यूज करते हैं, ट्रांजैक्ट करते हैं, जीएसटी पे करते हैं. 1,000 करोड़ का टर्नओवर हम इस साल कर रहे हैं. वेल वी स्पीक, कचरे में कोई नहीं सोच सकता कि इंटरनेट पे 1,000 करोड़ का माल बिकेगा. एंड टुडे ऑलमोस्ट 2,000 रैक पिकर जो कचरे और घर से आपको उठाता है, वो हमारा ऐप यूज करके माल बेचता है, माल खरीदता है. सो आई थिंक विद दिस स्टोरी व्हाट आई रियलाइज दैट देयर इज नो लिमिट. अगर आज बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड कचरे वाला ऐप यूज कर सकता है तो कोई भी यूज कर सकता है, राइट? सो दैट्स यू नीड टू हैव अ कन्विक्शन. And today we are funded by Morgan Stanley. We're growing very fast. We got a lot of awards. We have been like government, because this is the big problem and the biggest beauty of this business which we are doing now. It has an impact on the society. The day we go home, we know that हमने 2,000 metric ton का कचरा लैंडफिल या ओशन में नहीं गया है, प्रॉपर जगह पे गया है. So I think that gives us that satisfaction and there is a purpose. So for us, when we go home, we feel that कि हमने कुछ कुछ अपनी मदर अर्थ के लिए किया है. और इंटरनली हम लोग, our approach is that our only client of recycle is the mother earth. Our planet is the only client we have. Rest everybody is just a stakeholder. So because of that approach, I think we are seeing a great traction, and we are seeing that it has been getting recognized globally. We were in World Economic Forum last week. We got the Fast Company Award for fourth most innovative company in Southeast Asia. Only Indian company. So I think we have seen that what I wanted to convey with this is that the opportunities are unlimited. अगर कचरे में 3,000 करोड़ की कंपनी बन सकती है तो कहीं पे भी कंपनी बन सकती है. Only what you need is the willingness to be there. And what makes entrepreneurship is challenging, or what qualities are required. So I will just note down 3-4 things, and then I would open this for the discussion. So I think passion and vision. I think that is very, very important for any entrepreneur to be there, to be successful. Like, you need to be passionate about what you are doing. You need to be passionate about the idea which you are going to see. People are going to call you idiot, pagal, kuch kar raha hai, job karo, bahut sunne ko milega. But just listen them, just ignore it, right? When you are confident. When I was doing my first venture, 15 saal, lot of people, all my classmates by then were in US. I was a computer engineer. Out of 60, 59 were in US. I was the only idiot sitting in Hyderabad and trying to create a entrepreneurial opportunity. उन लोगों ने घर ले लिए, पुणे में फ्लैट, कार ले लिए. मेरे पास ना फ्लैट था, ना कार था, ना कुछ था. वर्चुअली आई वाज ऑलवेज रिच. वैल्यूएशन वाज ऑलवेज $10 million, बट जेब में कुछ नहीं था. But then I was always sure that passionate था कि इसको मैं बना के रहूंगा. And that happened. That happened, right? So people will talk, people will give you a lot of suggestions. Listen to them, but do what you have heard. Like, that is the passion and vision which we talk about, and that's the base requirement of an entrepreneur. That is the DNA of an entrepreneur. Second, risk taking. There is nothing called part-time entrepreneurship. It's all about take risk. And it's very clearly, we all know that more risk, more money, right? More risk, more success. If you want to just say कि मैं job करता हूँ, then part-time मैं entrepreneurship करता हूँ, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. You can't have 2 wives. It can be only one. You have to be successful and happy in life, you need to have only one. So you can do only one startup at a time, and you need to have a high risk-taking abilities. You need to have that self-confidence कि कल कुछ हुआ तो देख लूंगा मैं. Like, as I told you, I come from a middle-class background. In 2009 to 2013, almost those 4-5 years till I exited in 2015, I had a liability of 12 crore rupees on me. Personally, I took loans from people, right? And my I didn't, even you take all my family, my father, my uncles together, their retirement money would not have been more than 1 crore in their bank. So I was carrying a loan of 12 crore rupees, and I was sleeping comfortably because my intents were good. I took that risk. I will make it. I return them money, and I will also make money. And it really worked. That self-confidence, passion. So the risk-taking ability is very, very important. Nothing is impossible. As I explained you, that even if I could build a 3,000 crore company in trash, that is, everybody consider this as a junk or kabadi, everything is possible. Third point Either they lose their faith, they lose their confidence, they don't have that vision, they are not perseverance is lacking. That's the reason they fail. But the 10% which are successful have all those qualities, and they have, and the luck also, the 5% factor luck also plays a role. So keep in mind that entrepreneurship is not easy, although it looks very, because the media only talks about those uh, those success stories, right? No media talks about failures, right? They don't want to get the failed people, because there are, behind every 10 successful entrepreneur there are 90 failures. But media is not talking about it. You don't hear about them. I have seen those people personally, so I can tell you that but the people who have resilience, who have perseverance, they can be very, they can drive the success. Leadership, another important aspect. You need to have those leadership skills. You, with the leadership, you need to build that proper leadership team also. I think the proprietary single founder approach doesn't work in today's world. So always try to find a like-minded people, get 3 4 people together, each one with different strength. Somebody is good in marketing, somebody is good in sales, somebody is good in XYZ. All of them can come together and build a company which and all of them, because they are coming with the different strengths, they can add a lot of value. There's no conflict, and the trust between all of them is very important in the entrepreneurial journey. The last point is trust. So you have to build trust about your product, about your service in your client. You have to build trust about your vision, mission into your employees, your team members, and everyone. Investors also feel confident to invest in your money in company. So if you have this, if you try to get these 5 6 things aligned, not everyone will have everything. Some will have some will have something. But this is a journey. As I said, you cannot become an expert, but somewhere wo pani mein kudna padega. You can't just sit on the by whatever by this will happen one day, and need to take ready to take risk. Opportunities are enough. India is the market. I don't see there is any other market bigger than India. India is a space of opportunities. India is growing. Next 20 years belongs to us. Don't even think about going any other country and doing some entrepreneurship there. India is the place. Enough money. India has so much of funding available today. In my earlier days, there was no funding, only bank funding was the case. Today, there are more funding and less horses in the market. So be confident about yourself, about your ideas. Go try it, fail multiple times. I failed almost for 15 years, failed, came back, failed, came back. And today, I can proudly say that that has really worked for me. So, guys, this is the my basic inputs about the entrepreneurship in the country. I try to connect it with my story. Now the floor is open for any kind of questions you have. Would be happy to answer them. Yeah, Mr. Praveen?
Participant, you can ask.
Yeah, Mr. Neeraj Raj or Praveen. I see their hands raised.
Neeraj Rai, unmute yourself. Neeraj Rai, you can ask. Unmute yourself.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, if I have any one shop at my locality, I want to make it bigger or multiply it. What should I do first?
I think, see, a shop is a different business altogether. You can think like in the shop business, you can, I don't know what kind of shop you run, but generally, if you are running a offline shop, first thing you can think about going online, right? The shop is in one city, it will have a limited customers, limited customer flow. If you decide to go digital, it's open for 365 days, 24 hours. You can sell on marketplaces. You can just go and sell everywhere. Why are you restricting yourself to shop only, right? Then you can open branches. You can have franchisee models. So there are multiple opportunities. There are multiple people who have made bid out of the one store. They have become pretty large. There are multiple brands which are on the internet, on their own website or Amazon, Flipkart. We are very small in one city, now they have become pretty large. So the today digital internet gives you that option to really build it further.
Thank you, sir.
Hello,
Dr.
sir. Can you give more insight of your business model? Actually, means recycling in the sense chemical. It is related to chemical industries or any other types. So more details. How
So
actually come up?
yeah, right now we're dealing only in the dry waste category. So plastic, paper, metal, e-waste, tires and batteries are our focus categories right now. So where all the plastic waste, plastic also has 10 different types. We are not gone into chemical or hazardous waste yet, or a wet waste yet. That might be the future plan. But right now we are only trying to track the dry waste problem in the country, where it goes to landfill and ocean, which is a big blunder, because every plastic bottle going to the landfill or ocean is going to create an environment problem, as well as it is a resource which can be reused. So we talk about circular economy. We want people to reuse the material again, because there's a limited resources, right? This is not unlimited. Today we have everything. Might be our kids will not have every privilege available. So we have to learn reusing it or recycling it, and that is where we wanted to talk. We are dealing into. Uh, so basically, what happens here is the because the material. So all these kabadiwalas, rat pickers, they collect this material, but there are so many people in between, right? There are at least 7, 8 people, middlemen in between in that business. So we actually bought a digital technology app into that. Now the people sell the material directly and get 25-30% extra income. And that is what our USP is, because we have disintermediated the unnecessary people in between. And in addition to that, because the whole world is now focusing towards circularity and this thing, so we are a lot of brands work with us. So we work with almost 200 plus brands. They wanted to bring back their bottles and again reuse it. So that is where we play a major role using the QR code based technology.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you for your overview.
Sir, there is a question in the chat box that as you suggested the opening the new branches, so one of the saying is that I don't have money, but if there is any idea to grow with less investment and more profit.
So I think there are ideas. It's not that you like more profits, less investment is also possible. You need to be smart enough. Use social media, use the internet. There are free tools available. Use them, but it will not scale beyond a limit. It will scale. You can make more profit. You're doing 100 today, you can go to 200. But you want to go to 1,000, then definitely you will need to invest more. And there are, if your idea is good, if your products are good, you can go and take funding also. There are funding available for this. You have to structureize it properly. There are so many incubation programs. There are so many accelerator programs. Just go on internet and you'll find a lot of information and pursue it. Nothing is impossible.
Please mute yourself.
Yeah,
Arbina
Dr.
ma'am.
Vikas. Dr. Vikas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Myself, Dr. Vikas Deshmane. It was really excellent to hear your inspirational journey, sir. Since the audience, most of the audience is teenager, have you been really choosy while choosing your friend circle? And what was the impact of your friends in your journey?
No, I was never choosing my friends. I had a lot of friends, and even in the college, school. So friendship is different, business is different. You don't need to be choosy. The friendship, you feel comfortable with somebody, the friendship happens. There's no formula to be friend with somebody, or there's no Google form to be filled. Okay, those 7 things are matching, and then only I will become a friend, right? It doesn't work that way. So, but at the same time, if you your friends, whatever, see that's where the friends add a lot of value into you at a time where you are down, when you are really struggling. These are the people who understand you, who support you financially, emotionally, and that's a very important aspect of entrepreneurship. So whatever friends you have, right, uh, out of 10, 20, 30, whatever you have, many of them will support you, many of them will curse you also. But I think having friendship and entrepreneurship are quite a distance things. We should always keep it separate, right? Just don't try to mix it. It always better to keep it separate. Whenever you are talking about raising money, it's better to raise it from the professional people than friends and family, because they're investing on you, and then they will expect returns out of it, and then there is a chance that the relationship will get spoiled because of this. So avoid that. But friends, always better to keep friends away from your entrepreneurial things, in terms of their involvement in the business.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to become an entrepreneur, and what are the big mistakes first-time entrepreneur should avoid it? Can you focus on it, sir?
So as I said, my suggestion to the team is, anybody has even 1% or 2% of that feeling that he wanted to change the world. Anybody has that passion, anybody has that kida, right? Difficult to define in the English, but in Hindi, yeah, they have that kida. Go for it. There's no better time than this. Be prepared that you might fail. Every failure brings a new opportunity. Don't worry about failures. Be open, go and drive it. Number one. Number two, don't feel that you have started your entrepreneurial journey once you are successful, right? It's a journey. It's a long journey. You have to go through the process. You have to enjoy every moment. Have that perseverance is important. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to give time. It doesn't happen overnight. Then the third important thing is, have a right kind of co-founders and team. That's my suggestion. Unless you get a good team, right? Generally, I also tell in my interview that if somebody gives me 5 good co-founders and $5 million at the start of my venture, I will choose 5 good people, because those 5 people will bring $50 million to me. I think
Anamika Sharma, please mute your mic.
having
Anamika
having,
Sharma.
good, having a
Sorry.
good team is always matters. So focus on that.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So one more now, since you are a profitable company, so are you thinking of listing it in the share market, that is bringing the IPO in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
share?
We have a plan of going for IPO in 25, 26. Still 3 years away, not immediately. We still wanted to scale faster and then look for that opportunity, but that is 25, 26.
Okay, sir. We'll apply for it for your company.
There is one
Sir,
question. Uh, Jyoti ma'am, ma'am, you can go ahead.
very good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Nice to hear from you. It was really an excellent presentation and excellent motivation for the students. I have one doubt that if someone wanted to start up the new entrepreneurship, can you just guide them to how they can apply for funding, or what are the things they have to taken care of, like that? Because
So
ours is a degrees college, and many students are just freshers. So can you just
yeah,
guide?
yeah. So first of all, I'll be happy to conduct such seminars and help them. And even if they reach out, I can tell them. But more than that, I am really, in today's market, they don't need to be dependent on anybody. Internet is the biggest tool. They have mobile. They spend 6 hours on might be 12 hours on Insta and other places. Ask them to just spend 1 hour on few sites which are talking about startup. Just search the word startup, or thanks to chat GPT, if they search, they will get answer of every query they have. What they were, where to register company, who is the advisor, how to apply for funds, how many accelerators are there, everything is available. Today the world has changed. They don't really, but if they are not even able to do that, then they should not become an entrepreneur. Let me tell you, right? Because that has to come from inside. मुझे तोड़ना है, मुझे कुछ करना है, right? So I think there is enough of information, enough of guidance, enough of data, and tools are available for them to really become successful. More and above, If anybody wanted to reach out to me, they can just email me and I will be happy to help.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I see one question from aquaculture company, like rear freshwater fish for consumption. So I think Ashwit Shetty. So Ashwit, are you watching Shark Tank? Okay, so just to answer, so I think you should start watching Shark Tank. Go to YouTube and see the 10, 15 episodes of Shark Tank. You will find the answer for this. This is very much doable. There is an opportunity everywhere. You have to see how big is the market, how big is scalable. But I suggest all of you, whenever you get a chance, please watch few episodes of Shark Tank. You'll understand your many doubts about entrepreneurship, scale, marketing will get cleared. It's a free session available on TV.
Thank you so much, sir. Really, the session was amazing because I too learned a lot. I was before in entrepreneurship, so I will restart again. I got motivated. And yesterday only I was thinking for the second source of income for my parents. And really, this story and this inspiration guided me a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
And
Thank you, sir.
thank you so much, sir.
Sir, for all the participants,
Yeah.
we must congratulate to Abhay Deshpande sir because in the last week uh, I have seen that is the Recycle is recognized as the fourth most innovative company in APAC, world's Asian Pacific region. And so, sir, we again congratulate you and
Thank you,
thanks to
sir.
you and convey my regards to father-in-law, Dr. Ramesh sir.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Kazim.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye bye.
आई होप सबको बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा. दिस नेशनल वेबिनार रियली स्टार्ट बहुत अच्छे से हुआ है. नाउ अभी सेकंड स्पीकर, उसके लिए आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट आर राखी असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर राखी गुलाटी मैम. She is head department of commerce, to give an introduction of resource person Mr. Ashish Srivastava. Rakhi ma'am, very good morning. Please, I welcome you on the virtual dais.
Good morning, ma'am, and thank you so much. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Good morning, all. Our respected principal, Dr. Swapna Samil, ma'am, convener of this national webinar, Dr. Digambar Sapkal, sir, all the organizers, today's expert speaker, Mr. Ashish Om Prakash Srivastav, and all my colleagues and students. It's my privilege to introduce today's expert, Mr. Ashish Om Prakash Srivastav, who is a director BE in instrumentation and also has to his credit the degree of MBA. So now let me speak about the introduction of Mr. Ashish sir. Sir has completed his engineering in instrumentation from Mumbai University in the year 2001. Sir was trained for 6 years under the guidance of Dr. N.V. Rao, who is a retired BARC scientist in the area of electronics and instrumentation. Sir has developed gas chromatographs with 8 detectors, including electron capture detector, for analysis of various chlorine, fluorinated hydrocarbons in pesticide and narcotics detection. Sir has also developed CSL's own data integration software as well as hardware used with CSL GCs, which is still being used at CSL even today. During 2001 to 2008, Sir got trained in electronics, mechanical, analytical chemistry, chromatography, gas blending, gas analysis, and supercritical CO2 extraction. Sir has also added various product lines in calibration gas, electronics, engineering, and projects, supercritical systems, and controlled atmosphere systems from the year 2008 till date. Sir has also added two business verticals, that is electronics and engineering, along with disposable calibration gas. So, on behalf of our college, I welcome you, sir, in this national webinar, that is Entrepreneurship Development Opportunities and Challenges, which is arranged by the IQSC committee and the E-Cell. And with the expectation that your deep insight will surely help all the participants to get immense knowledge. And thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to give the introduction of Mr. Ashish sir. Thank you all, and over to Ashish sir.
Namaste, everyone. It's a pleasure.
Namaste sir.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah, it's a pleasure talking to the youth country. So I'm very, very happy. I mean, this is the first time I'm addressing students, and I mean, the topic is really, really fascinating. Entrepreneurship, development, opportunities, and challenges. Firstly, a Sastan Namaskar to all the teachers, the gurus of this generation. You play a very, very important part in shaping the future of India. And as a student myself throughout my life, the highest regard I can give is to the student, sorry, to the teachers, because guru is something which is very, very embedded in our civilization, and the guru has the highest regard as far as the levels of humanity is concerned. So I would like to say, so the previous speaker, Deshpande sir, the best thing about inspiring story, but there are two aspects to entrepreneurship. One is the startup, the glam, and you start up a company, you pitch in Shark Tank and all that. But I would like to focus on the other parts. It's the MSME. So just to give the students some numbers, 50% of this country is less than 30. I mean, that's a huge amount. We are the number 2 startup capital in the world, but I feel we are the number 1 MSME industry in the world. Our MSME, so when you talk about MSME, the chota dukan wala, the chota companies like us, who are into manufacturing, who are into, the small, the industrial area of Ambernath, the industrial area of the whole country. Those are the small MSME which contributes to almost 30% of the GDP. So GDP for the students is basically, as a nation, how much we produce, how much economy wealth that we create is called as GDP. So India right now is $3 trillion, and we will reach $10 trillion within before 2030. So just imagine, as a we can say a ballpark figure is what I have understood is that whichever economic strata you are in right now, you will jump 3 times ahead. So if you're earning say 15,000 rupees a month, probably you will get 45,000 rupees a month in a span of about 6 to 7 years. So I would like to tell students the MSME part of it, see, because not everybody can be an entrepreneur, and not because, not that they are not capable, but the opportunities, the money, so many factors which are responsible. So what I would recommend the students is, rather than spending time in Facebook, Instagram, and all that, just one small half an hour lecture of Mr. Deshpande kind of influenced a lot of people, right? There are tons and tons of these kind of stories in YouTube. I would recommend at least spending 1 hour in these kind of activities. Number one is reading a newspaper. So I mean, that's a must. I mean, in fact, the colleges should recommend that students should read newspaper, because newspaper is all about news from every part of the world, in every section. I mean, it's got news about business, it's news about politics, news about, so as a human, as a person who's like 18, 19 years of age today in India, you need to really, consume a lot of information, and positive information. I'm not talking about politics and all. I'm talking about, say, like Deshpande sir said about Shark Tank. Look at the fantastic ideas that are coming out in Shark Tank. But I would say that I don't see Shark Tank because I'm from the very different aspect. So if you talk about the pyramid, everybody knows what a pyramid is, right? So the top of the pyramid is the Flipkarts, the Apples, the all the unicorns, 1 billion startups of the world. But I like to focus on the bottom pyramid, which is the MSME. And in India, I'll just tell you one small example. So we make a machine called a supercritical CO2 extraction machine. It's a fairly very complicated machine. We are the only Indian manufacturers who just try to build this in-house. It took me 10 years to make this, and there are only about 5, 6, 7, 8 manufacturers all over the world, and we are one of them, and proudly so, because we are a very small company, and we worked on it and we made it successfully. So there is a heater in that machine, for which we were struggling for so many years. So we just randomly, through Google, we met a vendor, एक छोटा सा company, Airoli में, छोटा सा गाला. And this guy was so intelligent. I mean, he was not an IIT Bombay. He was not a brilliant engineer. He was a person who worked in a company, learned, understood, kept on learning, and then finally decided to start his own company. तो उसके जब मैं ऑफिस में गया, I mean, small office, मतलब ऐसा लोहे का सीढ़ी ऊपर चढ़ के and all that, and he showed me a thing which I was trying to crack since 2 years. So my point is, don't go for the glam. Not everything is startup, not everything is money, billions, ye wo, ye wo, ye wo. So this guy solved my problem for 2 years, being a small MSME. I mean, just imagine the machine which we are making is made by only 1 or 2 companies in India, and probably we are the only indigenous company. और मेरा जो सप्लायर है वो एक छोटा सा दुकान है एरोली में जो मुझे हीटर दे रहा है. I mean, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. So what I would like to, in fact, I want to tell you a story of how this company started. So my father, who's 83, 84 right now and still active, is in Lucknow, and he doesn't want to rest, and I still report to him, and he's the head of the R&D activities and all that. So this guy studied झाड़ के नीचे, वो पत्ते में डाल के. So he was born in 1940. Pre-independence, so झाड़ के नीचे पढ़ा, and he failed in 11th standard. He failed twice in BSc for whatever reasons. I mean, he was not a bad student, but he failed. Then he worked his way, did his MSc from Allahabad University, Pragyaj University now, and got into BRC by luck but the sheer luck and chance. I mean, he got selected, and so during that time, it was a Cold War era, where government of India was sending a lot of scientists to US, to UK, to Russia to learn and understand. So he basically joined BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. And to all young students, I would recommend to see Rocket Boys. It's a fantastic story. In fact, Deshpande sir's story and Rocket Boy's story and Virat Kohli's story, everybody's story is the same. It's all about passion, it's all about bas karna hai, keeda is what he said. So he did his. So he was sent to UK, Wales University, to do his PhD, and he was only given 2 years time. And all the professors' years, that PhD takes 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and all that. But he did it in 1 year and 4 months. So when he landed in UK during the start of PhD, he got sick. He was hospitalized for 4 months. And he had to come back in 2 years because government ka grant 2 years ka hi tha. Otherwise, he had to pay from his pocket, which was impossible. BRC ka naukri tha, and it was like 600, 700 rupees a month. He used to get the salary and all that. So the zeal of completing PhD, you've seen rocketry. If everybody has seen rocketry, very similar story. And there are at least 1,000, 2,000 Indians who have done the same way what rocketry has done, including our MD, my father. So the point I'm trying to take you is that there is no success, unless there is a sacrifice. So he used to work 16 hours a day. All British, they used to stop work in Thursdays, Fridays. So काम ही नहीं होता था. Saturday, Sunday, daru party and all that stuff. But this guy used to work 7 days a week, and he made sure that he finished his PhD, and he came back. So now when he came back, of course, he had educated in UK. You know, he was on the seventh heaven. तो उनको लगा कि यार company शुरू करनी चाहिए. तो my father's father, one small village in UP, he made a board, and the name of the company was decided in 1978. And that board was fitted there, and he said, "Boss, we will start a company." But कुछ हुआ, ये हुआ, वो हुआ. You know, he was not able to do it. And 94, I think, about 6 years before his retirement, he was denied a promotion. And that is when he felt that, I'm already 54. Now let's do something. Let's go ahead and do something. And because he spent all his life in BRC, BRC का एक ही mandate था, जो भी imported technology है उसको localize करना है. So we are talking about ISRO was carved out of BRC. So we had this space mission, we had this atomic energy and all that. So the DNA what got into him was to indigenize local technologies, and that is how he started his company. To now the story, if you listen to the story, there are some 7-8 bullet points. What you need to know if you are an entrepreneur. Number one is the most difficult job in the world. अभी आपने अगर entrepreneurship का spelling आपको आ गया है तो that itself is a huge challenge, because entrepreneurship spelling and entrepreneurship itself is a huge, well, it's very difficult. It's a thankless job. You may get an employee of the month, but entrepreneur never gets an employee of the month. You don't have friends anymore because you're working all the time. So just to give you my thing, so my father finished his, he retired in 2000. I finished my engineering in 2001. So you can say that I'm kind of a first generation entrepreneur. So I think for the first 15 years, so 2001 to 2015, I was working 7 days a week. I mean, no vacations. I got married in 2007 and 2023. 15 years of marriage, I've only taken 2 vacations, probably 3. So that is only now. I mean, so that is how taxing, that is how difficult this thing is. But having said that, but I will tell you one thing for sure, that money is always a byproduct. I mean, a lot of people in today, let's say the exposure of Shark Tank, and you see in the news $1 billion and all that. So never run for money. Run for knowledge. The more you feed your brain, see, brain is just like any other muscle, right? So if there are bodybuilders here, they are actually pumping up weights in order to get their biceps and all these muscles kind of blown up. But if you really want to exercise your brain, you have to put in with information. Just to give you a small example, what is ChatGPT? It's a tons and billions of data which is fed into the thing, and it's what giving you the output. So you need to be a ChatGPT brain in order to be successful in life. Like I said, Facebook, Twitter, and all this thing is good for people, but I would recommend that you spend at least 1 hour looking at videos of people like Deshpande, people like who are successful in life and all that. So one of the top bullet points of being an entrepreneurship is it's a thankless job. It's a 24/7. It's the most difficult job. I mean, if you see Virat Kohli, if anybody knows Virat Kohli, the amount of work he does, the amount of passion he has towards his cricket, the amount of training he does, the amount of net practice he does is unmatched. I mean, people say 1980s team, if you have seen the movie 83, they never had that. And they never used to work to that level. But in today's world, it's so hyper competitive. I mean, you have uh, brilliant young people in this world who are really equally passionate. So you need to really up your game. So one of the biggest things is that it's a never ending fight.
टायमिंग 9चं आहे 9:15 आहे.
Sorry, yeah, okay. So it's a never ending fight. You need to be. I mean, failure will come every day. Like Deshpande sir also said, I have failed at least 1 billion times. I've stopped counting how many times I've failed. But failure teaches you something. The very famous story which my father told me about Thomas Edison, that he failed so many times, and ultimately he was the biggest and the greatest inventors of all time because of his failures, not because he had the money, he had the funding and all that. So he learned from his failure. And one more thing which kind of changed my world was the first day when we joined MBA. I did from SIES, Nerul, South Indian Society. I think this thing is linked. So Dr. Sen Gupta was my dean, and one of the first things he asked to the batch of ours is, how many of you can dream? So if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to be successful in life, you need to dream. So one of the interview questions that I asked whenever I take interviews is, what is your 2 year plan? What is your 5 year plan? What is your 10 year plan? At 18, 19, you are filled with so much energy. If you just can channelize that energy into dreaming about some end goal, that will really help you in your life. So dreaming is one very, very aspect. I want to become the billionaire. That's not a dream. You need to solve problems. You need to get people on board. Karma is another bullet point, that unless you have good karma, you have to be empathetic. You have to have good karma in life. You cannot backstab people and go up your ladder. You can do that, but then it all comes back. It's a circle. It all comes back. So good. When I say good karma, you have to be good to your vendors, good to your customers, good to your friends, good to the people around. It's kind of a civilization thing to us. It will come to you naturally, but that is one of the very, very key thing. So when I say karma, you have to be a giver, not a taker. So when you're starting your career, when you're finishing your education, you have to give a lot. For example, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. So you can join a MSME, you can join a company, give your 100%. I've seen a lot of people, say, why should I like why should I, I'm getting only 10,000 rupees. I will only give 10,000 rupees worth ka kaam. It's a bad thing to do. And trust me, the first 3 years of your career, you need to really give your heart out. So if you're given a task for 6 hours, do it for 12 hours. You ask your boss, sir, ye ho gaya, aage kya? So trust me, every entrepreneur, including Deshpande, including me, when we take an interview, we see the entrepreneur trait. We don't see how much you got in your boards, how much you got in 10th. We see what is the entrepreneur spirit in you. So every human has it. So when I say entrepreneurship, are you ready to sacrifice your time? Are you ready to sacrifice your life towards a common goal? I mean, it's very difficult to explain, but I hope you understand. But I'm open to questions. If you have anything. Uh, it's the toughest job. So you don't think that entrepreneurship is all about money. हम कंपनी चलाएंगे, बेचेंगे, पैसा आएगा बैंक में, स्विट्जरलैंड जाएंगे घूमने, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. So money is always a byproduct. Uh, I've written so many things down. I'm so sorry. This is my first time, so you have to excuse me. Uh, yeah. So one of the things is, a lot of entrepreneurs are asked, "What is your biggest challenge yet?" So I'll tell you, the challenge keeps on changing every day. So today I have a challenge, tomorrow I have a bigger challenge, उसके बाद और बड़ा है. So it doesn't stop. It keeps on increasing. So it doesn't stop. Uh, I mean, this is it. I mean, I would love to open to questions. Please, बेशरम होके मुझसे question पूछो. It can be as stupid as possible, but I love to answer your questions. Because what you learn, what happened with me and what happened with Deshpande sir is just a luck, ho gaya. And it's not like we are very brilliant. So by the way, I did my engineering in 5 years instead of 4. So I also failed in a year, but that didn't stop me. Nobody questioned me, you failed in engineering. But so वो जो लगन और वो जो मेहनत है ना, उसका कोई ये नहीं. इनफैक्ट इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड एजुकेशन डज नॉट मैटर एट ऑल, because with the advent of chat gpt and so many YouTube, Googles and all that, education is important. Education gives you, tells you. So one more thing I like to tell you is, I asked my father, what is the difference between me and an IT Mumbai graduate? So I was doing good stuff, I was getting recognized as well. तो उन्होंने बोला, boss, there's a huge difference. An IT Mumbai guy did mehnat. He spent his life, he sacrificed everything when he was 17, 18. And you were doing it when you were at 25, 28. So if you would have done the same hard work at 25, when you were like 16, 17, probably you would have had 5 more years or 10 more years with you as a jump start. So the difference between IIT Mumbai and me is he did mehnat, what I'm doing today at that time. That's the only difference. There is no question of intelligence. There is what I learned in engineering has got nothing to do with what I'm doing today. But of course, it's like a language. I learned the language of engineering and this is what I'm using right now. But mehnat ka koi substitute nahi hai. You have to really work hard. There's a huge opportunity. I mean, 10 years down the line, I feel the MSME will change. Of course, unicorns would be there, but the MSME is what will make a difference in the country's growth. So please ask me questions. I will really love to answer them. And I think that's as far as my introduction and topic.
Participant session is open to all for questions.
So one of the questions was aquaculture. In fact, I'll tell you one thing: all the people who are here on agriculture, it's 10 times bigger than IT today. I can put it in writing, and probably this is getting recorded. I will tell you, 10 years from now, agriculture will be 10 times bigger than IT. I mean, when I say IT, not the IT is the whole thing, but people are really attracted towards IT and all that. But hardcore manufacturing, MSME, agriculture, and all, it's a huge thing. Yeah, himmat mat haro, keep on doing it. You don't need money to be successful. Trust me, money is always a byproduct, like I said. So work on it. Burn some money, mehnat karo, and then aquaculture, agriculture, kuch bhi ho. It's anything that does that is used for producing food is going to be a biggest year. Just to tell you one more quick story. I met a agriculture guy who owns a dairy, और वो डेयरी के हिसाब से जो मिल्क निकलता है, उसका दूध जो निकलता है, उसके हिसाब से वो बाई प्रोडक्ट है. कैन यू इमेजिन दिस? मतलब आप डेयरी लगाते हो दूध बेचने के लिए, उसके लिए वो दूध बाई प्रोडक्ट है. ही मेक्स मच मोर मनी फ्रॉम अदर थिंग्स इन अ डेयरी than selling milk. So that is how powerful agriculture is. So one of the stories he told me is that कोई भी 1980s 1990s में अगर कोई किसान के 4 बच्चे होते थे तो पहले वाले को IAS या सिविल सर्विसेज में पढ़ाता था. मतलब if he had 4 kids, boys or girls, first preference was for IAS, second was probably for a doctor, third was for engineer, and fourth was for the farmer. मतलब जो सबसे बेवकूफ बच्चा होता था वो फार्मिंग करता था. But trust me, today at 18 years or 19 years, the first preference is going to be for agriculture. So it's a huge business opportunity. Of course, सबसे ज्यादा मेहनत अगर कोई चीज में है तो agriculture है. So don't you cannot have time for Instagram, and you don't have time for going out for coffee or time pass करना. डेयरी ऐसा एक बिजनेस है जिसमें 365 दिन काम होता है, 365 days, no Saturday Sunday off, and you have to really work. But then again, the money that you can make, Amul is a cooperative and such a huge company. So just imagine, it's unbelievable. So I'm open to questions. Please ask. It can be as stupid as possible. कि सर मैं क्या करूं, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Whatever it is, please ask.
हेलो
Yes, Neha.
सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि सर सर हम लोग अभी स्टूडेंट हैं, हम अभी एजुकेशन अभी हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, फिर हम हमारे माइंड में ये भी आता है कि हम पढ़ाई के साथ साथ ना कुछ पैसे भी इंक्रीज करें, तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए कि हमें मतलब सिर्फ पढ़ाई करना चाहिए, मतलब कुछ
क्या पढ़ाई,
और
क्या पढ़ाई कर रहे हो आप? किसकी पढ़ाई कर रहे हो आप? मतलब आर्ट्स में, कॉमर्स में, कहाँ पे हो आप?
Sir, she is in commerce.
She is in commerce. Okay. Now, just to tell you, Neha, ये इतने सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स अगर आएंगे, इतने सारे स्टार्टअप्स आएंगे, तो जस्ट इमेजिन द एवरीथिंग इज बैलेंस शीट, एवरीथिंग इज P&L. As an engineer, trust me, madam, it took me I think 10 years to understand numbers. That is what you're getting trained down right now. जो अभी आप पढ़ रहे हो तो जस्ट गूगल, अभी आई डोंट नो, मतलब बहुत सारे लोग पढ़ते हैं खाली एग्जाम में मार्क्स लाने के लिए. आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट इज क्लोज टू यू. फॉर एग्जांपल, you're doing commerce, you're doing your BCom and all that. I would recommend cost accounting over CA, chartered accountancy. Cost accountant. So I'm a manufacturing company. मेरे सक्सेस का बहुत बड़ा रीजन मेरे गुरु हैं, his name is Girish Maniyar. He's a cost accountant, and he changed my perception of business. मतलब आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, बीइंग अ कॉमर्स गाय, द नंबर्स. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, मैं बहुत सारा परचेसेस कर रहा था, मेरा परचेस का कॉस्ट था X, और मैं काफी सारा लोन ले रहा था, एंड अगर मैं अपने सप्लायर्स को जल्दी पैसा दे देता या एडवांस में पैसा दे देता तो मेरा 25-30% सेविंग हो रहा था ना. सो trust me, you will be a person guiding a fellow entrepreneur कि boss पैसे को ऐसे use किया जाता है. So like I said, there's no, I mean, you talk about arts, arts, sociology. मतलब आज today as an entrepreneur, my biggest strength is psychology, which is an art subject. I mean, how do I get the work done from 300 people? We have 300 people. In fact, I'll just give you a theory that I'm working on, which is called as the Lagan paradox. आप लोग ने Lagan movie देखी होगी. I don't know, you guys, so I don't know whether you've seen that. So Lagan, Amir Khan builds a team of कोई लंगड़ा था, कोई ऐसा था, कोई वैसा था. And so entrepreneurship is all about that. You set up a team. So I'm talking about Chemtron, where so I don't get engineers from Bombay. I get engineers from Amravati. I get engineers from Bihar. I get engineers from small towns. और मैं उनसे वो सब machines बनवा रहा हूँ जो इंडिया में कोई नहीं बना रहा है. Can you imagine? So the Lagan paradox is that you may have the most मतलब underdog team, मतलब ऐसी टीम जो हारनी है. लेकिन पता क्या होता है कि if you have this passion, the Lagan team can actually win against the British. Is the point I'm trying to tell you. मतलब so don't forever think that you are not a tag, you are not from a big college or a big ye wo. You can do anything in life. You just have to think ahead. So Neha, my answer to you is, आप सोचो कि 5 साल बाद आप क्या करोगे. So आप 2 साल बाद शायद ग्रेजुएट हो जाओगे, 1 साल बाद ग्रेजुएट होगे, उसके बाद क्या करोगे. Take any job, work your मेहनत से काम करो, 2-3 साल सीखो काम को. Probably you'll start up your own accounting firm. If the country is going to grow at 8-9% every year to become $10 trillion, we will need a lot of accounting firms to do the accounting for MSME. So there is no end.
हेलो सर.
हाँ जी, अल्ताफ जी बोलिए.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. हेलो. हाँ सर, मैं पढ़ाई करता हूँ कॉमर्स में, तो मैं ITI भी कर रहा हूँ साथ में पढ़ते पढ़ते. तो कुछ लोग बोलते हैं कि पढ़ाई करके कुछ फ़ायदा नहीं, तो फिर ITI वगैरह कर लो, बड़ी कंपनी में जाके जॉब कर लो.
आवाज बहुत आ रहा है बैकग्राउंड का. हाँ, तो आप अगर कॉमर्स करके आप ITI कर रहे हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. अगर आपका मन ITI में ज्यादा लग रहा है तो यू परस्यू ITI का बेस्ट पार्ट क्या है कि आपने अगर फॉर एग्जांपल ITI, जैसे मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको, मेरे कंपनी में अगर 300 लोग हैं तो कम से कम 25-30 ITI हैं. ITI का इतना जरूरत है मार्केट में, आप इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते. फॉर एग्जांपल CNC का ITI होता है, वेल्डिंग का ITI होता है, फिटर्स का ITI होता है. मैसिव डिमांड. करना पड़ेगा आपको. आप वहां कुछ सीखोगे, लेकिन वहां पे आपको ना एक तरह से समझेगा कि नट ये पाना क्या होता है, या स्टेनलेस स्टील क्या होता है. बट जब आप नौकरी पे जाओगे तो वहां पे आप सीखोगे सारा कुछ. तो आप ITI करो या कॉमर्स करो या कुछ भी करो, काम ही काम है मार्केट में. बट ये है कि मेहनत करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज इतने डिस्ट्रैक्शन है आज की तारीख में. आप लोग को लगता है कि मैं जैसी जॉब करूंगा मेरे पास आईफोन होना चाहिए. ये मतलब गलत तरीका है. मतलब मैं कहूंगा कि पैसा अपने आप आएगा, आप मेहनत करो खाली. मतलब आप छोटी सी कंपनी में एक छोटे से वर्कशॉप में काम करो, फिर आप जाओ. अभी जैसी मेरी कंपनी है, मेरे कंपनी में छोटे छोटे वर्कशॉप में जो ग्रिल नहीं बनाते, जो विंडो के ग्रिल बनाते हैं, उन लोगों को मैं लेता हूँ. लेके मैं बड़ी बड़ी मशीन बनाता हूँ जो इंडियन ऑयल में जाती है, जो 40 देशों में एक्सपोर्ट होती है. तो माय पॉइंट इज, मेरा कहने का मतलब है कि जो भी करो आप, पहले 3 साल आपकी नौकरी बहुत जरूरी है. मतलब वहां पे आपको मतलब जितना आप सीख पाओ. मैं आपको एक स्टोरी बताऊंगा. मेरे यहाँ एक आदमी है अमरावती से, उसने इंजीनियरिंग की है, ITI नहीं किया, इंजीनियरिंग की है. बहुत ही मेहनती. उसके अंदर एक ही चीज है, वो हार नहीं मानता. वो मतलब so he joined as a trainee engineer. Today he is the highest paid employee. He is वो मतलब इंजीनियरिंग करके आज 40 देशों का पूरा एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट संभाल रहा है. जितने भी हमारे सबको वो मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने शुरुआत की ITI से और आप मेरे यहाँ ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो अनपढ़ हैं, ITI भी नहीं है, और ये जो मैं लड़का बता रहा हूँ वो हेड ऑफ मार्केटिंग हो गए हैं. तो मैं आपको ये कह रहा हूँ 10 साल बाद आपकी डिग्री मैटर नहीं करेगी, आपने क्या काम किया है वो मैटर करेगा. अगर आप ITI भी पास हो, मतलब धीरूभाई अंबानी भी 10 पास ही था, उसने कोई इंजीनियरिंग या आईटीआई नहीं की थी। तो मेहनत का कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं है, दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू रियलाइज।
जी जी, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है आपको। यू आर वेरी ओपन हार्ट पर्सन और आप अच्छे से ओपनली बात करते हैं। तो सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन ऐसे था कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पे हमारे और कि जो पूछना चाहते हैं लेकिन वो पूछ नहीं रहे। तो अगर सपोज कोई एंटरप्रेन्योर है या कोई स्टार्टअप शुरू कर रहा है, और इस क्वेश्चन का बैकग्राउंड में थोड़ा बताना चाहूँगा कि मैंने ऐसे मार्केट में बहुत सारे देखे बिजनेस की जो इनिशियल सेटअप में इस कोर बिजनेस में पैसे कम लगाते, पहले ही थोड़ा शोबाजी में थोड़ा सा पैसा दे देते हैं, एडवर्टाइजमेंट में डाल देते हैं, और बाद में होता है कि उनके पास उनका बिजनेस के लिए फंड नहीं रहता। एक पार्ट देखा है। कुछ मैंने एंटरप्रेन्योर्स ऐसे भी देखे कि जिन्होंने मार्केट में या कुछ वेंडर से कुछ खरीदने के लिए पैसे दे दिए, लेकिन उनके पास बाद में कस्टमर को सेलिंग के लिए ना कुछ रहता है ना उनके पास बैकअप पे कुछ। तो इन दैट ये जो दोनों एग्जांपल है, अगर ये ऐसे अगर हम न्यू एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है, कोई स्टार्टअप कर रहा है, तो उन्होंने कौन से प्रिकॉशंस लेने चाहिए या कैसे फंड मैनेज करना चाहिए, कहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, कहाँ पे नहीं करना चाहिए, क्या प्रिकॉशंस लेने चाहिए सर?
सो आई कम बैक, ये बहुत स्टूपिड लगेगा लोगों को, बट मैं कर्मा पे आता हूँ इसके लिए, बिकॉज आई विल टेल यू वन थिंग। वो ना एक लालच है ना, वो आ जाता है पिक्चर में। वो लालच से अगर आप दूर भाग जाओ ना, तो यू विल बी सक्सेसफुल इन लाइफ। आई विल जस्ट गिव यू एन एग्जांपल। अब मैं जब हमने कंपनी शुरू की, माय फादर रिटायर्ड एट 40,000 रुपीज का उनका सैलरी था जब वो रिटायर हुए थे। एंड टुडे वेरेवर वी आर, वी हैव टेकन लोन। अभी लोन का पर्पस क्या होता है? आप बैंक से पैसा लो, 100 रुपए आपने बैंक से पैसा लिया, आपने वेंडर को दिया और आपने उसको 120 रुपए में बेचा, बैंक को 100 रुपए वापस किया, 10 रुपए सैलरी दी और 10 रुपए आपने कमाया। अब उसमें अगर आपका चीटिंग या लालच का भाव आ जाता है, तो बहुत बार मैंने देखा है कि मैंने छोटे लोग, तो मेरा मेन काम क्या है कि जितनी भी छोटी कंपनी है ना, उनको पहले ऑर्डर दूं। मैं परचेज वाले को नहीं देता हूँ, मैं खुद करता हूँ। मैंने क्या चीज देखा है कि यार वो इतनी बड़ी कंपनी है, ये 100 रुपए का चीज 200 रुपए में बेचो, पैसा कमा लेते हैं एक ही बार में, है ना, गला काट लेते हैं ना, सोने की अंडा दे रही है मुर्गी। वो माइंडसेट आपको निकालना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज आई स्ट्रांगली बिलीव, अगर मैं आपको एक मतलब 20 साल से मैं कंपनी चला रहा हूँ, 50 बार ऐसा हुआ होगा कि कंपनी बंद होने वाली है, बट कोई ना कोई रीजन से हम लोग बाहर आ गए, बिकॉज हमने कभी किसी का पैसा नहीं मारा, कभी लालच नहीं दिखाई। सी, मैं अगर 100 रुपए की चीज है, अगर मेरी कॉम्पिटिटर उसको 400 रुपए में बेच रहा है, तो मैं 300 रुपए में बेचता हूँ। ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं भी वहां पे 300 रुपए या 200 रुपए ज्यादा कमाता हूँ, बट मैं चीट नहीं कर रहा हूँ किसी को। तो जहां तक आपका सवाल था कि वो ये ग्लैम शैम फोन गाड़ियां ये वो, एज अ बिजनेस एज अ एंटरप्रेन्योर, रिमेंबर वन थिंग, अगर आप अपना कोई दुकान भी डाल रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं है एंटरप्रेन्योर मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो सीधा स्टार्टअप बन जाता है सीधा $1 बिलियन। आपने अगर दुकान खोली है, आप पैसा वहां खर्च करोगे जहां से रिटर्न आता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मेरी एक ग्रोसरी की दुकान है, अब मैं उसमें गेहूं बेच रहा हूँ फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो मैं उसमें आईफोन नहीं बेचूंगा, मैं उसमें यू नो, आप समझ रहे हो, मतलब आई डोंट नो हाउ टू एक्सप्लेन।
yes.
तो यू शुड फोकस ऑन योर कोर, यू शुड फोकस ऑन व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, 50 चीजें करके कुछ नहीं होगा। वो नॉलेज के पास, वो नॉलेज में होना चाहिए, मतलब आपको 50 चीजें पता होनी चाहिए, लेकिन आपको काम एक चीज पे करना चाहिए जो आपका फोकस है, जो आपका पैशन है। So that is my answer to your question. I don't know whether I've answered it.
Yes, thank you sir. Okay.
सर एक क्वेश्चन।
So
So
I'm
there
on
was
the,
question.
yeah. Can you just tell me the questions are coming on the chat? So I'm on the phone. I cannot see.
Yes, sir. There was a question regarding green IT. Would you like to have a suggestion on that?
I'm not aware of what is green IT. Can you elaborate? What do you mean by green IT?
No, it is a question of Neha ma'am. Neha ma'am.
There is also another question. Lambodar Pradhan.
There is one more question. Sir, I have finished MSc in biotechnology, but even if I want to start a small saline industry, it takes a lot of paperwork that takes years. How you manage your legal paperwork and stay updated?
Uh, Ma'am, paperwork is a need of the hour, because आप जिस field में हो, biotechnology and all that, वो मतलब you need to be compliant and it's a good thing. It doesn't take years. पहले बात तो ये अपने दिमाग से निकालो कि सालों लगते हैं. आपने उसको खाली 1% अटेंशन दिया, इसके लिए आपको लग रहा है सालों. आप अपना 100% डाल दो उस पे, तो मेरे ख्याल से एक हफ्ता 10 दिन में हो जाएगा. मेरे साथ ये हो चुका है. फॉर गिव यू एन एग्जांपल, एक NABL करके आपने सुना होगा, पता नहीं आप लोगों को पता है कि नहीं. सो एक कंप्लायंस था मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स में, जो मैं 6 साल से सोच रहा था कि मैं करूंगा. बहुत डिफिकल्ट था, मैं कर नहीं पा रहा था, पर एक दिन मैंने ठान लिया. आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, वो 2 महीने में हो गया. तो इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ फोकस, अगर आपको लग रहा है डॉक्यूमेंटेशन बहुत ज्यादा है लेकिन एक्चुअल में नहीं है. और आज की दुनिया में ये जो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ये जो होता था ना, ये 1990-80 में होता था, जिसको बोलते थे लाइसेंस राज. बट टुडे इट्स मोर ऑफ कंप्लायंस. सो व्हाई कंप्लायंस इज रिक्वायर्ड? अगर आपने वो कंप्लायंस को क्रैक कर लिया तो वर्ल्ड इज योर मार्केट. नाउ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी इज सच अ, आई मीन, पहले इंजीनियर और डॉक्टर का ये था, अभी बायोटेक्नोलॉजी है, ये है वो, तो कितना कुछ चीजें हैं. यू जस्ट spend 1 hour in understanding what is happening in your field through YouTube videos, through LinkedIn, through reading, through newspapers, so on and so forth. So don't feel that no policy is designed for which can take for 1 year. ऐसा नहीं होता है. The people don't focus on it with 100% focus. इसके लिए आपको लगता है कि सालों लगेगा. I will guarantee you this, that probably I really don't know what that compliance is. बट अगर आप उसमें मेहनत से अगर पढ़ोगे, एक लाइन बाय लाइन पढ़ोगे, लोगों से मिलोगे, तो मुझको नहीं लगता 1 महीने 2 महीने के ऊपर हो पाएगा. 1-2 महीने, 1 महीना ज्यादा से ज्यादा काम होगा ये.
So that IT, green IT was regarding that saving the environment through e-waste, from the e-waste.
Not my subject, वो मेरा सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, बट देशपांडे सर should be able to answer that. But I mean, अभी just to give you an example, when I was hearing to देशपांडे सर, तो there are mining companies. आपने सुना होगा, mining company होती है जो पहाड़ खोद के सब निकालती है. So what Deshpande sir is doing, he is basically a miner. कचरे से you are mining stuff out of it. So for example, battery waste है. आपको पता है, you don't need to have an lithium ore. इतनी बैटरियां हैं इंडिया में कि अगर आप वो बैटरी को रिसाइकल करके लिथियम निकाल लो, it's good as a ore. So opportunities everywhere. So one thing is be positive. I mean, एक बात है कि one thing I feel that is very very important for my success is I'm always positive. I'm never negative. I mean, हर चीज में मुझे अच्छाई दिखनी चाहिए. That is the mantra. So yes, green IT is a huge field. Any field in India is huge today. I mean, we are talking about 140 करोड़ लोग हैं हम लोग. So you do anything, the market is never a problem.
So I have one question from my side that can you throw some light on organic farming, because it is also a requirement. I can say need of an hour.
Yeah, so I've been exposed to a lot of, I'm focusing all my energy in farming and agriculture right now. Organic farming is the need of the hour. Organic farming is again tough. मतलब कोई भी soil को आप organic नहीं बोल सकते हो. It's a 3-year process of doing this. It's a good space because I'll tell you, there are a lot of the middle class, top the people who are middle class is actually have the money now to buy this organic food. In fact, India was organic. We were just messed up completely by the capitalist. So अगर आप गांव में जाओ, आज भी मेरे को लगता है जो छोटे छोटे गांव हैं, मतलब it's organic. So there is a market. There's no doubt there is a market. The market is in the big cities right now. Eventually it will come. It's a good place to be in. Organic farming is something which is अभी मैं यूरोप में था, वहाँ पे अलग शेल्स होते हैं ऑर्गेनिक के. और वहाँ के जो मैं फल देखता हूँ ऑर्गेनिक के, तो मुझे अपना मतलब आई वेंट टू नासिक वंस, और एक फार्मर के वहाँ मैं था, और उसने मुझे जो सब्जी वब्जी दिखाई थी, इट वाज एज गुड एज ऑर्गेनिक. So he was not using fertilizer, obviously. He was not using pesticides. So organic, yes, it's a very good field to be in. Again, agriculture is the most मेहनत वाला काम. So be ready for it. But I would like to tell one thing, which I was trying to. I wanted to speak to some education institute. Is internship now, principal ma'am and all the professors there. You need to get an internship. You need to tell your students right from first year, second year, third year, fourth year. So because engineering का पता है 4 साल का. So first year you should have a 15-day internship at any of the companies. I'm telling you. Matlab, you won't have a problem with assigning people into companies. All the companies want these kind of people. So it should start with 15 days in first year, so 30 days in second year, 60 days in third year, and probably 90 days in final year. Students have to go and see how the enterprises are working. So somebody who's a commerce graduate has to go and see what a CA does. Not in a CA office, obviously in a company. कि जो accountant है, जो cashier है, for example, मेरे company में जो cashier है, she can be a guru to BCom first year student. कि how do you मतलब आपने BCom किया तो how important is cashier? मतलब my point is इन बच्चों को अगर एक्सपोजर मिल जाएगा पढ़ते पढ़ते, I mean we are through, we are already through, but we'll be through faster.
Sir, we are searching those companies.
Sir,
they can permit us, our students, for the for this entrepreneurship.
मेरी
15 days, 20 days ऐसा.
मेरी HR मैनेजर है उषा करके, मैं उसको इतना मैं बोलता यार ट्रेनी उसको ट्रेनी मिल, और आप बोल रहे हो कि आप कंपनी ढूंढ रहे हो.
Yes. नहीं सर, एज अ नेक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट टू अस, क्योंकि बच्चों को हमको बाहर भेजना ही है, और फॉर दैट पर्पस MOU is also required. Linkages, there is a question.
Also call entrepreneurs छोटे, अभी सर दुकान वाला है, अगर आके 5 मिनट को टॉक दे दे आपके क्लासरूम में, so you should encourage speakers coming into your college, say on a Friday, different types. So depending on, so you will not call a Sundar Pichai in a college, right? You should get small entrepreneurs, people like me, people like Deshpande sir. Deshpande sir is obviously a pretty senior person, but you should get this interaction of enterprise and students. That is what I feel very proud, very passionately, that this has to happen. So either trainee के लिए भेजो, internship के लिए भेजो, या
yes,
बुलाओ.
Definitely, yes.
You do workshops, you do workshops for students. Because of Zoom and everything, you don't need to travel. You just put up a projector, or you can have any 20 and 10. Well, so many people sharing their experience and how the student should learn, and so on and so forth. So this aspect is what I would recommend to your organization. In fact, teaching company.
Sir, yes. Definitely, sir, we will do it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ashish sir. Really, I learnt a lot, and I hope कि सारे students ने कुछ ना कुछ तो लिया ही होगा आपसे, और वो उसको implement भी करेंगे. And karma believer, it is a nice thing. It is very important, and really, the session was amazing. And you were saying it was first time of yours, but एक second के लिए भी ऐसा लगा नहीं कि first time था. It was like really amazing.
Thank
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir.
One at a time. I would like to, अगर एक भी person सुन के अगर successful हो गया, then that's a very good karma for me. I will have a better life.
Yes, sir. होगा sir. Now, अभी फीडबैक लिंक, हाँ, फीडबैक लिंक सारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए अभी हम पोस्ट करेंगे चैट बॉक्स में. एंड आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर श्वेता मैम. शी इज अ मेंबर ऑफ ESIL, and she is assistant professor in microbiology department, for the vote of thanks. Shweta ma'am, I would like to invite you on the virtual dais.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Jaya ma'am. So, good morning to all. Honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, respected principal ma'am, and dear participants. On behalf of SICS Degree College and its entire fraternity, I feel immense pleasure to propose a vote of thanks to today's both resource persons. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Abhay Deshpande sir, who has spared his precious time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion and enlighten all of us with innovative ideas on entrepreneurship development in this webinar. Sir rightly talk about the story of his successful journey. Such an inspiring session, sir. So thank you so much. Then I would further extend hearty thanks to Mr. Ashish Srivastava, sir. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence, sir. Thank you so much. I would take this opportunity to express my deep regards to our principal ma'am, Dr. Swapna Samel, for being a constant source of motivation and guiding force in our endeavor and efforts to excel in this field of education. I would especially thank our honorable management for their continuous support and confidence in us. They are the backbone of our institution and the guiding force for every new step forward. I would like to thank teaching and non-teaching staff of SICS Degree College for their direct indirect support for making this webinar successful. And my deep sense of thanks and appreciation goes to all the participants who were live with us and attended the webinar with great enthusiasm and made it a great success. Yes, last but not the least, I would thank Ms. Neha ma'am for her technical support. And in the end, thank you all for being with us today. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, all of you, and well done.
Can we stop now, madam?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
No, but wait for 5 minutes if someone is having. No, but we have a group now, so we can stop and the
We will
feedback
send
from
this feedback link on group.
I have already posted the feedback link in the group of the WhatsApp, and I am sharing the Telegram now.
Okay.
Thank
So
you,
after half an hour, whole organizing team come to my cabin.
Yeah, everyone will get the certificate after feedback. Yeah.
After half an hour, whole organizing team come to my cabin.
Yes,
Yes. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well done.